There are dozens of art centers scattered across the North Country, each one a little miracle that it stays alive. We visit one in Malone that's turned a downtown basement into a thriving hub for the community. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from Pearsall Wealth Management at UBS Wealth Management USA, subsidiary UBS AG, member FINRA SIPC, 1 Broad Street, Glens Falls.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Thursday, September 25th. First up, the 115th Assembly District covers all of Clinton and Franklin counties and 5 towns in Essex County. It's been represented by a Democrat for almost 9 years. In that time, now former Assemblyman Billy Jones became the only member of his party representing the North Country in the state legislature. Jones recently resigned to take a job at Clinton Community College in Plattsburgh. So now Republicans see an opening to flip the seat in a special election this November. Their candidate says he'll be a check on one-party rule in Albany. Kara Chapman reports.
Speaking at a press conference at the Butcher Block restaurant in Plattsburgh, Republican Assemblyman Robert Smullen says Brent Davison has served his entire life.
He served his community, he served his state, and he served his country.
Davison grew up and still lives in Morris Forks in northern Clinton County. He's a former corrections officer, U.S. Army veteran, and retired Master Sergeant with the National Guard. And he recently retired as commander of Troop B after almost 3 decades with the New York State Police. Davison says he's decided to serve a little longer by running for state assembly.
My mission is clear. I want to be a strong voice for the North Country. I want to be a check on Governor Hochul. I want to fight back against the destructive policies that make it difficult for us North Country people to survive.
For Davison, some of those destructive policies include bail reform, energy mandates, and, quote, sky-high tax rates. He said he plans to focus on affordability, boosting the local economy, and protecting law enforcement. Davison also supports repealing the HALT Act, which limits the use of solitary confinement in the state's prisons. It was a top target of corrections officers' wildcat strike earlier this year. Davison says he'll work with anyone who wants to bring common sense change to Albany.
If you want a strong voice for the middle class, for lower taxes, for energy choice and independence, for safer communities, rural and affordable health care, and protected green spaces, look no further than to me and to the team that I have with me here today.
Local GOP officials and several Republican Assembly members from as far away as Long Island are here to support Davison's candidacy. Among them is Assembly Minority Leader Will Barkley. He says, in addition to helping Republicans strengthen their voice in a Democrat-dominated Albany, Davison would bring value with his strong law enforcement background.
So I think he's going to, not just in sheer numbers, helping us gain numbers in the Assembly, but with his life experience and his ability to speak out and be a leader, I think, on those type of issues, I think it's going to be invaluable.
The display of GOP unity followed a period of division at the start of the special election process. Back in August, there was a public spat between North Country Congresswoman Elise Stefanik and the Clinton County GOP over the special election nominee. Stefanik and other high-ranking Republicans, including Barkley, had backed Malone Village Mayor and Franklin County legislator Andrea Dumas. That was before the county GOP chairs, who are responsible for selecting the nominee, had made any formal endorsements. On why he viewed Dumas as the stronger choice, Barkley says Davison wasn't a candidate at the time and Dumas was.
Ultimately, it wasn't my decision to make. It was the GOP chair to make that decision, and I think they made an excellent decision with Brent. So I'm very happy to support him now.
Davison says Stefanik wasn't aware of his interest in the assembly seat when she endorsed Dumas.
I had a couple different conversations with her, and one of the last ones that I had is that if I was on the ticket as the Republican candidate, that she would support me.
Stefanik's office didn't respond to a request for comment by deadline. More recently, Republicans have made claims against Davison's Democratic opponent, Plattsburgh Town Supervisor Michael Cashman. They filed a complaint with the State Board of Elections, alleging he violated state law by holding his campaign kickoff at the Plattsburgh Town Hall. Cashman has said the complaint is a distraction and that Democrats and Republicans alike have gathered at the town hall. Davison and Cashman now face a compressed campaign timeline. The special assembly election will coincide with the general election on November 4th. Early voting begins on October 25th. Kara Chapman, North Country Public Radio, Plattsburgh.
In downtown Malone, an art gallery is thriving in a basement. The exhibits at Downtown Artist Cellar draw in people from around the region and provide a creative space for the Malone community. Our news intern, Richard Haller, has this North Country at Work story.
In the heart of Malone, down some stairs in a basement, is an art gallery filled with exhibits.
We call this the main gallery. This is where we have our group exhibits or one-person exhibits.
That's Jennifer Bilo, the owner and curator of the Downtown Artist Cellar. Today, there's an exhibit of elementary student artwork from schools all over the region. A fourth grader's batik of a pumpkin, a kindergartner's depiction of what it feels like to be angry.
I think this is also a kindergarten student has just depicted what anger looks like, red in the face, sketchy little lines going everywhere.
Bilo grew up in Malone, but was inspired by her high school art teacher to become an artist. She went to school for fine arts and ended up working in Los Angeles and New York City for over a decade as a textile artist in the garment industry. In 2004, she came back home to raise her 4 kids while also teaching yoga. Then, in 2017, Bilo transformed her dad's old workshop into an art gallery. It has a cement floor and cool stone walls.
I like the quiet space in between the exhibits where there's nothing on the walls, where you can kind of imagine what's next. And really watching people come in the door and just be like, oh, I've been transformed to somewhere else. I don't feel like I'm in Malone right now.
The gallery has featured all kinds of works, from a painting of a North Country-styled farm stand to what Bilo describes as outside of the box or avant-garde.
A lot of people sometimes are like, I don't understand this, but then they'll start talking about it. And that's just the goal, really. You don't have to understand it. You don't even have to like it. It's just talking about the art.
Bilo does a little bit of everything, from installing the exhibits to posting on social media. But she also works on connecting the community by hosting events, collaborating with traveling artists, and offering workshops. The gallery is responsible for one of the most recognizable sites in Malone, a giant mural that depicts a flock of geese flying north under a purple sunset. Another mural, which is just outside the gallery, was created by a Portuguese artist. It displays a woman as the North Star, liberating people into blue butterflies.
That was incredible because this time the community was actually part of deciding what it was going to be. The community contributed to these quilt squares that were spray painted. So we handed kids spray paint and let them go, and it was really great. And then, having an artist from outside the area kind of bring that all together.
Bilo says she's passionate about how her work impacts children and their creativity.
I think that creativity is something that we all have, and children certainly have it. And when they're immersed in that space, the things that just opens up their mind, the things that they come up with, and it's just the best.
Bilo says she loves what she does, but also says that making a living from art is challenging in the North Country.
Nobody's getting rich in this area selling art or making art. So I think it's a labor of love in that sense. You have to be committed to the work and know that it's changing something.
Bilo says it feels like the work she's doing is changing something in Malone. She says that the gallery is attracting more and more people. Some events, like a comedy and music night, ran out of chairs.
I don't know what the secret sauce is. I've tried to put the data on a spreadsheet as much as an artist can do that. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. It just feels like it's working.
Bilo believes that the gallery holds space for the community.
And there's just a great sense of community and engagement and pride and, that feeling that we've all come together and we belong.
Bilo says these collective experiences and memories from the gallery are being stored in the stone walls, and that the stone sends back these feelings of engagement and pride so that the community can keep coming together to fill the space. For North Country Public Radio's North Country at Work project, I'm Richard Haller in Malone.
We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Patricia Julian of Burlington and Martha Gallagher of Keene. I'm David Summerstein, North Country Public Radio.